These two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. How the fuck's that even happen? They're two grown men on a mission now, so buckle up and just strap in.
I keep forgetting we're not in love anymore. I keep forgetting things will never be the same again. I keep forgetting.
These two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. It's America's Barley Basket.
Hello and welcome to another episode of America's Barley Basket. I'm your host, Marlon Wells, and sitting next to me is host Nathan Fulsobach. Hello, Nathan.
Hello, Marlon.
How goes it?
I'm okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Doing all right?
A little itchy.
A little itchy.
Yeah, I'm always itchy. I got all sorts of...
You got butthole itch?
No, that's...
You got a dirty bum?
I've been beaten into submission.
It's just a callus.
It's given up. There's barely anything feeling down there.
Oh, boy. Too much time with the rude boy?
Yeah. I wish, no. I mean, that dump could be referred to as a rude boy. But I'm shat. I got the poison out.
Attaboy.
All the pipes are clean.
Good deal.
Not all of them. That sounds like I rubbed one out in your bathroom. But that pipe is locked and loaded. That one's got a torpedo.
Sounds like a threat.
Yeah.
You're not doing better here.
But the bowels are just loosey-goosey.
Back pipe.
Yeah. The exhaust is doing great.
And intake doing okay.
Yeah. Other than that, how about you?
I'm doing all right. My fucking eye patches are coming along. We're doing fine.
Eye patches?
We had the talk last week.
Oh.
You were horrified by the dry eye.
Oh,
the eye jelly.
I thought you meant like fucking Slick Rick. You were like
I know you did.
Dress up your like fucking wardrobe. You know what? God, that'd be a hell of a move for you to make. Don't change nothing but like a fucking bedazzled eye patch.
Yeah. I think I could pull it off.
Just catching fucking bar stools because your peripheral's all off.
That's the thing. Tough thing to just wear aesthetically, just for funsies.
It's a commitment. You lose all that depth perception.
Yeah, I don't know. Take it off when you go to drive.
Yeah, refuse to take it off when you drive. Yeah. Like an 80s wrestler. You can't break character.
Can't break kayfabe, yeah.
Explaining that to the highway patrolman.
No, I promise, officer, it's a shoot patch.
Yeah. What? Kayfabe, you know? I shouldn't even be telling you this. The boys are going to be pissed.
Sorry, I'm out here killing the towns. You're what?
You can either get out of the car, I'm going to drag you, but either way, you're getting hit with a nightstick. Is it a worked nightstick?
Is it a gimmick nightstick? Oh, the nightstick went into business for itself. Oh, no.
It's a very solid.
I wonder what people who don't like wrestling think of this show.
Jarrett's dad would not approve of this nightstick. It's too stiff. Going to be in Greensboro tomorrow.
You're going to catch a chewing from Jerry Jarrett.
Bill Watts likes you to really feed it in there, but this is outrageous.
A little stiff is one thing, but you're just potatoing them with it.
I have no teeth left.
Oh, man. A fucking bedazzled eye patch would be a hell of a fucking way to go.
Oh, and never address it. Just start doing it like you do when you're like 13. You're going to make a change. You're trying to figure out who you are.
Yeah.
I'm wearing fucking camouflage pants. Just show up to school in camouflage pants. Just gritting your teeth for the first person to make a comment about it. Fucking army boy now? Is that what you are? That you pretend shit you're doing?
That's why guys don't like try new shit. That's why we just dress the same way we've always dressed and just like making big wardrobe changes is hard.
Yeah, you catch a lot of shit. I mean, at this point, I'm so full of apathy. You could just be wearing a fucking one-piece unitard looking thing right now.
Don't fucking tempt me. Do not. If you came in to record next week and I was wearing an Andre the Giant single-arm singlet,
the Rikishi getup, clearly fake blonde goatee glued to your face.
Oh God, that Andre the Giant single shoulder singlet with one titty just out, just looking like Janet Jackson at the Super Bowl.
If you put a lot of work into it, I mean, this would involve tanning. I'm assuming some body shaving. You could do a hell of a Rikishi for Halloween.
Oh, I mean, thanks, but oh.
I watched a match of his, not as fat as you'd think. He's pretty agile in the ring. Yeah.
And like they leaned into it.
Yeah.
They made him fatter than he was. They did the same thing with Nia Jax by just dressing her super fucking unflatteringly.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No
like
shit.
you see Nia Jax's Instagram when she was on, like, you see her in the ring and they made her look like fucking Earthquake. You see her on Instagram and you're like, oh, you're just a big curvy girl.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool.
Kind of athletic, too, even.
Yeah.
Like,
Horrible wrestler, but...
Rikishi, is it his sons that are the Uso brothers?
Yeah, Jimmy and
Okay.
Jay are Rikishi's boys.
And Uganda, or not Uganda, what was his name?
Umaga.
Umaga, there we go.
I don't know the relation, but
He's
he was
in
part of
there,
that tribe
right? Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And was that it from back in the day?
I mean, Rock is in
Yeah,
that.
Rock, oh, good call. The Rock, yeah.
Yeah, Rock is in that tribe. That new kid that they just pulled up from NXT, Solo Sakai or something,
Yeah.
whatever his name is, he's part of that.
Is he the one that's kind of like the tough guy? Like,
Yeah, he's young, he's blonde.
oh, I'm thinking of someone else then.
There's Roman. Roman obviously is in
Yeah.
that tribe.
There's another guy that's not like young. That's part of the little I've ever seen of current wrestling of WWE. There's another guy in the whatever Roman Reigns' faction is. A guy I don't remember from before, but he's clearly one of the Usos. Little bigger than the brothers.
You're probably thinking of that Solo guy.
Oh, does he? Yeah,
He's kind of a beefcake.
Okay, but not like a kid though, right? Like not like a 19-year-old.
He's younger than the Usos.
Is he really?
Oh,
no
yeah.
shit. Okay.
Yeah. And then Roman, Sami Zayn, obviously not in
Yeah.
the bloodline, but
That's Samoan, shocker.
yeah, this ginger is not a Samoan man. Yokozuna was in that same tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I'm sure there's some. I'm sure so many of the Samoans that I remember as a kid were too.
Are all cousins. Yeah.
because there was the Islanders, which Haku was an Islander. He's not part of that family. But then there's the Samoan SWAT team, which is a pretty rad name.
Yeah.
It's a rich professional wrestling history there in the Pacific Islands.
Yeah. And we are here to provide you with your wrestling history lessons.
Do you have any other Pacific Island wrestling you want us to cover? In the Galapagos, they're technically.
Snuka's probably in there somewhere.
Yeah, I wonder if is he? I wonder. You know who else is? Barbarian. You don't know it because he never was sold as a Samoan.
Right.
At least that I remember, he was Barbarian.
Mm-hmm.
You know, him and Warlord.
I was about to ask you, who's the tag team?
Yeah, Powers of Pain.
Yep.
That sound right?
Powers of Pain. Mr. Fuji.
Yep. Eventually, Fuji sold each of them, which that's troublesome. Slick got one.
Okay.
And maybe Heenan got the other.
Boy, wrestling is a problematic thing.
Because they gave them all new outfits. Because remember, the Warlord was very more like almost Terminator-y. He had like a fake like exoskeleton skull chunk that
Like
covered
Kano?
Yeah, almost. Except I'm not even sure if it covered the eye, but you nailed it. Because they shaved his head completely too, I think. And then Barbarian was given like furs and like a fur hat with like little antlers sticking out of it and shit. Like they gave him each a singles push. That Warlord for the longest time had the shortest entrance into the Royal Rumble.
Oh, in and out.
He got in, did like a few big chest slaps like Tarzan shit, and just got immediately clotheslined out by Hogan. I think Santino went on to beat him.
Santino holds that record now, yeah.
But well, for a long time, Warlord had it.
It's one of those where it was so short that it'll probably never be broken.
Yeah,
Like you
It's
physically
almost
can't break
yep,
it.
I've seen that. It'd be hard to break. Warlord and Barbarian still alive.
Oh, look
Good
at them.
for them.
Good for them.
That's beating the odds.
Yeah, you're
Living into their mid 60s.
That's a feat.
literally like being 95 years old.
That
in
is
wrestling
a feat
years.
for professional wrestlers.
Yeah, probably probably have jobs still. You know, they might even be retirement age. Probably don't have a 401k. They got to keep working, you know.
Wrestlers, not big on 401ks, not big on retirement funds.
Not squirreling it away.
No.
Besides Mick Foley, who else was known? Owen Hart, I think, was known for being frugal.
Okay.
Sending all his money home.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he sent a lot of it home. Dino Bravo had a good side hustle until he didn't.
Yeah. It really went pear-shaped on him. You know who else I think maybe did? Stan Lane.
Okay.
Because he got out of it so quick, you know. He must have saved some because he got out of it. You don't get out of wrestling unless you're saving money because you get hooked on that money.
Yeah.
You know, like the fuck else is a guy going to do if you don't have any training that'll even compare to wrestling money, you know? Like,
yeah. I ran into that. I'm not saying it's the same thing, but I ran into that working at the strip club all those years. That job paid too well. Then you can't leave it.
Literally making half as much money the next year. That's a good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah.
I did it to chase comedy.
Yeah.
Like, woof.
One thing though, it's not like there were bigger titty bar like aspirations. You had reached the top.
I had reached the top,
so you knew what you were given.
Yeah, I reached the titty tetons. I was on top of the titty world.
You were toppled off Titty Mountain.
Not toppled. I went down on my own accord.
You toboggan down Titty Mountain.
The titty toboggan. Yes,
that's got to be a strip club in Alaska.
The titty toboggan for fucking sure.
Let's hope.
I'm telling you, someday when we make our millions off this podcast, I'm opening my own.
I'd be interested to hear like what your ideas would be like, because when you work at a place that long, you learn what or in your head at least, well, like here's what's wrong with this. Here's how I'd make it right.
I'm just gonna own it, and someone else can run it. I got
really?
no interest.
I thought this was a
it.
passion project.
No, I just want to have. I want a big neon sign that says Marlins Darlings, and I want to get a white boss hog suit with a big cigar and just greet people out front. Just put on a fucking fake Southern accent. I want to talk like the mayor from 2000 Maniacs. Just like, come on in. Get on in here, boy. And that's how I want to spend my twilight years. By which I mean 42 and up.
Yeah. 42 to 48. the end of my peak.
Because I also am aging like a professional wrestler.
That titty bar life, that'll run you ragged too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, the titties. Oof.
You've been getting good sleep for a lot of years. It's gonna be tough to get back to titty life.
But as the owner, I can just show up and leave when I want.
You need a little nap area.
I got some fucking dry mouth with these goddamn cigars.
He's napping.
Sleeping like a cartoon, just.
Yeah. I think it'd be better if it wasn't in a special room. It's just at one of the tables, curled up like a cat, just digging into the cushions.
Oh, look, he's dreaming. Kicking like a fucking dog.
Should take that suit coat. That's bunching all up on him.
Look at him. He's sweating.
He must be chasing something.
At least he had the common sense this time to take his hat off. Flashback to the week before, the hat is pushed all up on one side like a musketeer. Yeah. That's the dream.
Yeah.
We need this podcast to break big so we can open up Marlins Darlings.
You know, Marlon.
What's that, Nathan?
You know who's never owned an eponymously named strip club before?
Good use of eponymously. Who's that?
The Simpsons.
Yeah, that's probably true.
They have not, as far as I know. I could be wrong. Hey, we got 3 seasons left. Maybe that's Christ. They're running out of ideas, so eventually could be Homer's or Marge's. I'm trying to think of a rhyme that would work. Bart's Tarts.
That works. Yep.
Yeah,
that works for me.
Shouldn't get the child involved, but sometimes business is hard. We're in season 31. We're right in the middle. We have episode 10 to kick things off. Bobby, It's Cold Outside. Going to be a holiday episode, which I always enjoy.
Yeah, I like their holiday shows. I like their holiday intros. The Simpsons, pretty good at a Christmas episode.
Yep, I would agree. That's a thing. Some sitcoms do well and others don't.
Yeah. I mean, hell, they started with it.
Yeah.
Episode 1 of The Simpsons.
Good point, yeah. I remember in my head, Roseanne did holiday episodes well.
Okay.
But like other sitcoms, like Cheers, if they, maybe they had some good Christmas ones. I sure don't remember it, like.
Yeah, I have no idea. Cheers, you think you could go back to Cheers today?
I have within the last 10 years. And
good?
Loved it. Yep.
Okay.
Who knows how much of that's nostalgia, but there's some very good writing in it still.
Okay. I bet I've never seen an episode of Cheers.
No shit.
Like a credits to credits, front to back, full episode. I bet I've never seen it.
That was
I don't think it was on the air back home.
Yeah.
And again, we weren't much of a TV family, so
it would have ended when you would have been in like first or second grade.
Okay.
But I mean, it aired in reruns a lot back home, but it might have been after your bedtime or something. You never know. Like, cause it was
6:30.
Yeah, it was after the 10 o'clock news. So.
Oh, I wasn't staying up that late. Hell, unless I'm doing comedy, I don't stay up that late now.
You record the news to watch it in the morning. God, that'd be something.
What a life.
Can't start my day without last night's news. The episode begins with Lenny, which is a rarity. Lenny's doing some online shopping. He orders a bunch of gifts. Some goddamn porch pirate steals them all before he can get to them.
Bunch of dicks.
Such a shitty crime. That's running rampant in the Twin Cities this holiday season all the time.
Porch pirating, top 5 shit ass fucking crimes. That and keying a car.
Yeah. Yeah. Or stealing a car too. I mean, if you're stealing some rich person's car, no harm, no foul. I mean, don't do it, I guess. But like, what if that person needs to get to work? What if that's
which, spoiler alert, they do.
Yeah, and they're low on, they've already been late a couple times, and that's just the fucking thread that once it's undone just leads to the dismantling of their life.
Yeah, they don't make it to work that day. They get fired. They lose their home.
You wanted to fucking take a Kia off some sweet jumps.
We all love sweet jumps, but don't steal someone's Kia for it.
They're not built for it.
They're not made for jumping.
So we have a criminal on the loose. Meanwhile, Sideshow Bob is taking a break from his job running a lighthouse because apparently he's out of prison.
I guess. Yeah. I didn't go back and look, but we've touched on him living in a lighthouse before, haven't we?
I think so. But we've also seen him escaping from prison and then getting hit by a rake
truck. Yeah.
Assuming that he didn't get out,
I wonder what the actual line of Cannon, Bob Cannon looks like. You think you could live that lighthouse life?
Ooh, for a hot minute. I couldn't do it for life, I think that.
I bet I could summer in a lighthouse.
Yep. Yeah, summer, winter. Make a season out of it.
Oh, the winter. No, I bet living fucking 4 feet away from the ocean in the winter. I bet that sucks.
Sleeted on every fucking
God,
day.
I hate getting sleeted on. Yeah. You've known that about me for years.
Sleeted? No. Skeeted? The night's young.
You've always said, say what you want about Marlon. He hates being sleeted on.
Because I've heard people say otherwise, and I correct them.
Yep, I've seen it happen.
Yeah, son of a bitch.
Come rushing to my defense.
You take that back. That man has never once enjoyed getting sleeted on. But he apparently hasn't been rehabilitated because he is still fantasizing about killing Bart. He's making ornaments.
Yep, Murder Bart Christmas ornaments.
A local woman who clearly has the hots for him told the townsfolk about him, and he is quickly found out about, and he's quickly hired to play a Santa in a kind of a rinky-dink amusement park.
Yeah.
And the showman in him can't say no, which
I love that. Yeah.
That's a weird part of his personality I forget about.
Is that he is a born showman, born for the stage.
In the early days, that's often how he'd be foiled.
Yes.
Bart would convince him to sing a song or something like that.
Yeah, that happens in one of the early ones. Bart convinces him to sing a fucking song, and that lets them get the boat back to shore, and he's arrested or something along those lines. I really love that this woman, Cassandra, who comes over, lives in the next lighthouse over.
You can see it.
Yeah. Why are there...
They're 100 yards apart.
There's no reason for these lighthouses to be so close together.
in Springfield, for as far as oftentimes is landlocked.
Yep.
They
Got
need-
whatever you need.
Yeah, it sure does.
It's a landlocked place, except when you have to reference the sea captain. Then
Good point.
Yeah.
Yes. As he is later. Foreshadowing.
boom, nailing it.
We get a cut. We're
You're doing great.
We're clearly we're clearly back in the city. We get a quick glimpse of Gil living in a box.
Yep.
God, like Jesus Christ, we rarely get Gil at that level of sadness.
Yeah.
Like,
Gil is full hobo here, living in a fridge box.
and that dog comes to greet him, and he's all, because Gil, one thing, he's an optimist. Oh, things can't be that bad. He's like, look at the car. Oh, wait, corpse detecting dog. So apparently Gil ain't doing so hot. The Simpsons, Marge wants to go to Santa's village, even though Homer doesn't, but Marge wins out on this, so the fam gets loaded into the car. We get a Baby Shark reference while they're driving to the Santa's village. And
Shows you how much we've caught up.
right, it's exactly
we're
what my
here.
note said. That this was 2 effing years ago. God, I bet that was a big thing with little kids singing
I'm
that
sure.
fucking song for hours on end.
I like that that scene doesn't go where you think it's going to go, because the kids are
They
singing
get into it.
and then Marge joins in, and all that checks out. But then Homer is just like, you know what, it's fucking catchy, and joins in.
And you get cute Maggie doing the hand thing because it's meant for babies.
Yeah.
So she's just living the dream.
I wonder if we've gotten any good dubstep remixes of that yet. I'm sure we
Gotta
have.
exist. Has to, I would think.
Show me Skrillex's Baby Shark.
That's the kind of thing you need Napster for. Sometimes you get a song like that, not even asking for it. This isn't Copperhead Road. This isn't Paris Hilton's sex tape.
Oh man, that was the Trojan horse of all Trojan horses.
I have a buddy whose girlfriend's computer still has AIDS because of how many things I downloaded trying to get that porn. You get that porn? Pretty lackluster.
Oh yeah, that is a disappointment.
And she's just as boring and vapid in bed.
Yeah, she's like, oh, doesn't she answer her phone at some point? Like,
That might be.
that's insulting.
That might be.
Like if you were throwing up your best game and the other person is on their phone,
I got time for a survey.
yeah, I'm interested in changing my long distance provider.
Do you have any more information?
Hang on, I'm just scheduling a colonoscopy.
One thing I liked about Santa's Village, we get a glimpse around. Huggable is there.
I have in all caps, Huggable. And the sign for Huggable says, do not hug.
Does it really?
Yeah.
I know there's like a fence around him. I did get a kick out of that.
Unbelievable. Also, the Dreidel Casino.
Yeah.
I don't think I have enough Jewish friends. I've never seen a dreidel in real life.
No, I haven't either.
I think I have 2 Jewish friends.
And of course, Krusty's losing all of his money.
Yeah.
It needs to be Himmel. It needs to be Himmel. Shin. So the lines are long, like I'm sure any amusement park is, and the line to meet Santa is miles long.
The sign says 8 hours.
Jesus, you're right, it does. That's ridiculous. I bet, how do they... I guess you just grit your teeth and tell your kids to shut the fuck up. But like Disney, it's all waiting in line is what I've always been told.
Yeah.
Like, how do you bring a 2 and a 4-year-old to that shit?
Duh.
They're probably miserable. You know, like
Yeah.
make a 2-year-old stand in line, see how that goes for anybody. You know,
Yeah,
like,
if I were 8 years old at Disneyland just standing on hot fucking asphalt, waiting in line, that's not fun.
a fucking high five, fucking Aladdin or whatever shit they got going on.
You're right. The prize at the end is worth it.
I think I was just gonna say those rides had better be pretty tits.
Yeah,
because I've only been to one amusement park in my life, and the rides were pretty dope. I'll give it that.
That's good.
And I remember there being lines, but they weren't Disneyland lines. They were wait 30 minutes. Even then, it's like, geez,
That's too long.
yeah. To shoot your fat corpse shoehorned into a Jesus, that's humiliating.
I won't wait wait 30 minutes at a popular restaurant, and there they let you sit down.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a bench.
I won't wait 30 minutes.
Right by the entryway heater, getting a good sweat. Love that. Like, this is great.
Oh, good.
You can see my full areolas. This is tremendous.
Really,
Wringing my underwear out like it's fucking 2-a-days in Alabama.
really airing them out, baby. Here we go.
Bear Bryant run this restaurant.
Boy, those areolas are big.
And not the same size. What happened?
Sweating so hard we can tell they're different colors.
It's leaning against a shake machine. I got tightened up the one on the left. Telling that to someone that didn't ask.
This one's a grower, not a shower. What does that mean?
Bart ain't gonna sit in line for 8 hours, so he cuts in line to see Santa. And it turns out Santa is motherfucking Sideshow Bob. Of course it is.
I like how Santa Bob is drawn.
Can't tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the hair's got covered.
Right, the hair's all tucked up into the hat.
In the silly shoes. He captures Bart. We think all is lost, but it turns out he cannot kill Bart. Because much like the quotes he gives are great, like Daniel Day-Lewis in Phantom Thread or Mike Myers in The Love Guru.
So good.
He believes in method acting, so he inhabits the character he's playing, and so he's Santa, and Santa loves kids. So.
Santa wouldn't murder Bart.
Nope. And
this was ridiculous, by the way.
all these years of hatred. Nope. That's the level of actor Sideshow Bob apparently is.
I loved how silly that is.
The Simpsons get the authorities involved, but by God, they believe Sideshow Bob too. So he gets to keep on Santing it up.
Yep. Keep on clausing.
Meanwhile, Lenny accidentally cheeses himself with a homemade dye pack filled dummy package.
Amazing.
So good.
He pours an entire bottle of gunpowder in there.
With all these dye packs, because he gets a glimpse. The reason he cheeses himself is he drops the dummy package because he gets a quick glimpse of the minivan that's flying through town stealing packages. And he's all blued up and bleeding out, and he's a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And
a lot of blood.
Yep,
a lot of blood for a non-Halloween episode.
And Carl is just there to help. Because he kind of questions the amount of gunpowder.
Well, we covered a week or so ago they live together.
Oh, that's true. They do.
They sleep in bunk beds. They're grown men.
And he's asking him if he saw him, and Lenny, before he passes out, reaches out and with his own blood spells out SB.
Pretty metal.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm not like bragging. I'm not saying I'm better than everybody else, but as soon as he wrote that, I knew who it was.
Did you really? Yeah. No shit.
I was like, it ain't gonna be Sideshow Bob. That's the obvious. That's the red herring. Mm. So I went through in my head and I was like, nah, that's who it is.
Okay.
Pretty proud of myself, as you can tell. So proud I'll interrupt a podcast to fill you in.
I didn't even think of the swerve one. Because immediately, once this comes out, Homer calls 911 and fingers Selma. Selma Bouvier.
You should phrase that differently. Yeah. But yes, Selma Bouvier.
Even my note, Homer fingers Selma for the caper. What about 1940s, like a tabloid?
How old
on the QT and very hush-hush.
How much did you pay for the fedora you were wearing?
It came with the trench coat.
Isn't Finger for the Caper a fucking Hot Action Cop song? Where else are you gonna get Hot Action Cop references, baby? We got you.
We covered it. We got you. But Bart this whole time assumes it's Sideshow Bob, which makes sense. He has the right to believe that. He's seen Sideshow Bob pull some shit. Bart's taking the law into his own hands. He takes the bus to a now closed Santa's village because it's almost Christmas, where he confronts Sideshow Bob, who still claims he's innocent, going so far as to promise to catch the real package thief to help clear his name. I think then they go to the Simpsons house. Does that seem right? And he explains the plan.
Yes.
He's like some kind of contortionist, and he folds himself into a box.
Yep.
And they like applaud, like, well, because it is pretty amazing. He's a grown man in like an 18 by 18 inch box.
It's impressive.
It's okay. I'm in. Homer, if you could, please put me out front. Fucking Homer kicks the box. You think he's just going to kick it to the front step? He kicks it up the fucking stairs. That kicks it out a window that lands. How fucking bad that would hurt to land on a concrete front step.
All folded up like that.
Yeah. Oh my fucking God.
I thought that was a good joke.
So the plan is they're going to wait for the thief to come, and the Simpsons will tail the thief, and they can figure out the thief's whereabouts. The package is eventually picked up, and the Simpsons follow it to a remote warehouse where they look in the windows and they find out the SB does stand for Smithers and Burns.
Boom.
We find out that Burns hates Christmas because he asked Santa for a hug from his mom and a smile from his dad. They didn't set the bar real high.
No.
That's not a whole lot to ask as a child.
Yeah, that should be an easy one.
Yeah.
That should be a gimme.
Yeah. But he did not get that, and that's where the hatred from Santa comes. But Santa, Sideshow Bob, because fucking Burns is in some kind of fantasy land. Like, he thinks it's the real Santa. Originally, he's angry at him. But Santa, Sideshow Bob, tells them that, hey, your parents loved you, not with hugs and kisses, but by making you strong and ruthless.
Yeah.
And like, where's everyone else at that got all those hugs and kisses? They're all long dead.
Long dead.
You're 122 years old.
Also, a little bit of an example of our sliding time scale, because when they flash back to Burns being a tiny little kid, it's 1935. Burns served in World War II.
Yeah, or World War One.
And World War One. Yeah.
World War One. Yeah. Which totally makes sense in the early days because he'd be in his 90s,
Yeah.
you know?
Burns knows and is a fan of late 1800s baseball players.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah.
So,
Madness.
sliding time scale.
So because of Sideshow Bob, a.k.a. Santa, Burns has a change of heart, and him and Smithers go and give all the packages back. So everyone gets to have a nice Christmas, including the Simpsons. And this is one that there's kind of two different endings.
We
two
get
different addendums.
Yes.
The first, we're back at the lighthouse. Bob is watching It's a Wonderful Life. You ever seen?
No, never have.
I remember when maybe it still does, but even on Antenna TV, that used to air every Christmas.
Yeah, I know it's one of the ones that everyone watches, but I certainly never have.
Nor have I, yeah. So that woman comes back from earlier in the episode, shows up at the door. She is clearly warm for Sideshow Bob's form. Keeps asking this and that. Eventually, his resistance wears down, and he lets her in. There's some canoodling in the air. We see the sea captain angrily screaming from his crashed boat about how the goddamn lighthouse light is
That's
off.
so good. Somebody want to turn the lighthouse on?
He could see two lighthouses. Neither of them are on. That would be very disappointing as a sea captain. Then the episode ends with Burns approaching Steve Ballmer, who was one of the SBs released from jail earlier in the episode. It's him, Sandra Bullock,
And Scott Bakula.
Scott Bakula, yeah.
All of whom voice themselves.
Oh, good. Yeah. I mean, I don't think Sandra Bullock talks.
But she's still listed in the credits.
Really?
Sandra Bullock as herself.
No shit.
I think that's so, because I thought the same thing when she came up. I was like, did she say anything?
That's pretty good. And so Steve Ballmer is approached by Burns in the airport, who asks him to help him be more optimistic. Ballmer gives fucking one hell of a pep talk and gets Burns all riled up, so much so that he jumps in excitement, which pretty much causes his whole goddamn body to implode. You got a good feeble Burns. That's a good way to end an episode.
Yep. End on feeble Burns. I'm fine by that.
Solid episode.
I like this episode.
Yeah, it's fun.
I like it. I don't love it, but I like it.
I forgot that Steve Ballmer is known for being like a real rah-rah, super excitable guy.
Is he one of the sharks?
No.
He's not the bald guy shark?
No, I can see why.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, he's early on Microsoft guy, I think, is where he's
okay.
or Apple. One of
Owns
those
part
two.
of the Lakers now, doesn't he?
No, owns the Clippers.
Oh, there we go.
And
did he buy it from the
Sterling.
bad guy,
Yep.
the racist guy?
and he's not afraid to spend money. Clippers have a huge payroll.
Yeah, good for them. I like that episode. There's a great joke when they first like, oh my God, it's Mr. Burns, and they all converge on him, and they're like, why did you do it? And to like throw him off that he has a real heartfelt reason for this, he goes, General Scrooginess.
Yeah.
So good.
That's a good line.
He says it with a little upspeak, like it's a question, like General Scrooginess. Love Mr. Burns.
Because it is a stretch that a 95-year-old billionaire and his henchmen would spend a month stealing packages before the holidays.
Yeah, because he was denied a smile and a hug in 1935. I like also that the packages that Lenny has are like
Suspenders?
It's like 8 different pairs of suspenders.
Which is funny. It didn't even dawn on me that he always has suspenders.
Always has suspenders, yeah. I don't think I noticed either. But yeah, he's a suspenders man. I'm not a suspenders man.
Yeah, I bet once you get used to them as a fat guy, they're convenient. But yeah, that's a road I don't need to go down. Man, that's hard. That's a bad road to go down.
I'm not like I don't often wear like you can't put suspenders on over a t-shirt. You know what I mean? You got to go under the t-shirt, which means you're doing 2 shirts.
Yeah, you can go over. You just got to tuck that shirt in. You know, like.
Walk around with a t-shirt and suspenders on, and before you nod, yes, I have seen it, and it looks fucking ridiculous. Yeah, I'm not going to do it.
I just think suspenders look ridiculous.
That's
usually.
true. Yeah, accurate.
The guys that I know growing up that wore suspenders, it wasn't a fashion choice. It was I'm too fat. My gut's too, maybe not so much fat. They're just a little guy with a huge gut.
Yeah.
And you just can't wear a belt unless you want to pull the pants way up high.
Yeah, that's the route I chose years ago.
Yeah,
so
over gut.
I'm fine.
Wear a belt over gut.
Yeah, I'm fine with a belt.
See, yeah. Not only shown, there we go.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's the stuff.
Right there, yeah. Imagine if the pants were below this. There'd be all this flesh out right now. It's a very tasteful choice. I don't get applauded enough for this.
Yes, you're very brave. Be glad this is an audio format, everybody. Yeah, I'm always hiking them up. Episode 11 is Hail to the Teeth. We get Lisa walking down the street. She's reading some kind of The World is Ending eco magazine. And an old man walks up to her and tells her to smile. You should smile more. You'd be prettier if you smile. Everyone likes if you smile. Shoot this man in the face.
I don't understand that.
Unfucking believable.
I am as big a creep as any red-blooded American male. The idea of approaching a woman and telling her to smile is so absurd to me.
Yeah.
Like,
it's ridiculous.
What do they want? How do they expect that reaction to end in their head? Oh, I thank you. I will smile more.
No, yeah, thanks. I'm really you really helped me here today.
I don't get it. But hey,
not enough of them get stabbed in the street. If we just started with a dozen, the word would get out and they'd knock it off.
Bring back street violence.
That's my political
That's
platform.
City council.
Yep. Not to dust off an oldie here, Nathan, but Lisa needs braces again.
What leads to it again?
Her teeth have been shifting from playing the saxophone because the orthodontist that gave her the braces the first time wasn't her real orthodontist. When she puts that saxophone mouthpiece in her mouth and her teeth just like swinging saloon doors move out of the way. Oh my!
I bet that is a thing though. If you are a kid that's in band and you play the shit out of your horn,
I'll bet
it's a woodwind. I bet that does. Just like the same reason they tell you to make sure your kids quit sucking their thumb because their teeth will start to push outward.
Yep, I knew somebody in my youth whose teeth got all yoked up from sucking on the thumb too long.
Yeah,
they're just pointing outwards like her teeth were giving the Heil Hitler all the time.
Not what you want.
You don't want that.
Nope.
Get out of here with these Nazi teeth. So Lisa needs to get braces.
I'd rather
again.
not see those teeth.
Hey, look at that.
Take $8 short. Continue, please.
Nathan coming back with the hammer dunk. Oh my God. So Bart has a fun app on his phone to show you what someone's going to look like as they age, and he's making fun of Lisa with it. Then we turn it on Bart, and he's going to look just fine. He's got a square jaw and a fucking butt chin, and then he swipes one more over to the left, and it's a tombstone, dead at 17.
And he goes, cool.
Of course he's into it.
Love that.
Of fucking course he is. It's at this time we get a package thrown up on the table, and it's a hologram of motherfucking Artie Ziff.
He's like his weird body gyrations and stuff.
Known creep.
Renowned creep.
Voiced by the lovable John Lovitz.
Oh, God bless John Lovitz.
And this hologram invites the Simpsons to a wedding. His wedding. And he's so Ziff about it. He's so like, yes, Marge, I was in love with you for all these 25 fucking years, but now I found my soulmate. And I love Artie Ziff has a, not quite Sideshow Bob, but Artie Ziff has a presentation about him, like, that I like. There's a little Broadway blood in old Artie Ziff. During this time, Grandpa is in the kitchen, and he's so excited by that Lowe's Home Improvement ad. He's just like, oh, 3/4 inch plywood, $20 a sheet. We gotta go. And he goes rushing off screen, and then you just hear him meekly go, I don't have a car.
That was good.
That's such a good, that's a prime Simpsons joke.
Yeah.
That is a season 5 joke.
Very much so.
I was like, fuck yeah, give me more of this. Lisa goes to this new, not optometrist, orthodontist. There we go. Goes to the eye doctor for braces. And they get them tightened up. They're just doing the top row. They get them tightened up, and Lisa is in a permanent smile. And I laughed so hard at this whole. Spoiler, I like this episode a lot. I laughed so hard every time she's on screen because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
She's always mad, but has this insane Joker smile on. She looks like a crazy person.
And they do a good job of mining it for laughs.
Yep,
too.
they do. They get mileage out of that sight gag. The doctor is like, yeah, and then you come back later and we'll put on the bottom ones. But for now, this is what you look like. And Lisa fucking wrestles the ether or whatever, the dentist gas, wrestles that away from her and takes a couple hits off it.
Dr. Kids Rule.
Yep, Dr. Kids Rule, which is short, it turns out, for Kids Rulovich, which is Romanian for kill all the children. Good jokes.
Yep.
Good jokes in this episode. Homer shows up at Artie Ziff's bachelor party. There is a pick your lobster tank. And then there is a pick your veal pen with these calves with their big, scared, soft eyes. And then the camera pans over, and there is a pick your Super Bowl ring table, which is just a giant bowl full of Super Bowl rings. And there's a big black guy who pulls a Super Bowl ring off his finger and throws it in the bowl and goes, my head aches. It got so bad.
Oh, yeah.
As he
It's so
walks
sad.
away. Holy shit. What an insane CTE joke.
And when we get to this like pre-wedding party, the camera's like above it. It's a giant digital display that says Groom's Day clock. It's a countdown with Artie's face on it.
Amazing.
Yeah, I got a kick out of that. We also get what we rarely get anymore: non on the news Kent Brockman. Kent away from the news. We don't get that much at all.
Yeah, he's just
anymore.
at this party.
Yeah.
But still, like, being a newsman, like, this just in, Kent Brockman hopes to get laid.
Yeah. Does not work.
Does not work. She's not into it. I laughed so fucking hard at that Super Bowl CTE joke. Jesus, that's like a spicy joke for the Simpsons.
At that time, too. I mean, 2 years ago, this was, peak news was all the CTE stuff.
Yeah, Junior Seau wasn't that long gone.
Yeah.
Woof. Homer talks to Artie. Artie's a creep, of course, but seems to be on the up and up.
Yeah.
Like the audience.
It's not, but
yeah. We, the audience, furrowing our brow at known dirtbag Artie Ziff.
What are you doing, Artie?
Especially because Artie, like, in a way, pays Homer off and just Homer gets so fucked up on pork. He eats so much pork that they have to wheel him out of there. Meanwhile, smiling Lisa being treated differently at school. Everyone loves her because she's smiling all the time. when she gives that sad review of Charlotte's Web, but can't stop smiling through it. Oh man,
There's a great scene in there too, where she's sad but smiling, and all the kids are cheering. He's like, I'm just so depressed. He's like, do you want some pills? It's like, these are in Spanish.
yeah, Ms. Hoover has 2 bottles of pills. She's like, well, what are they? It doesn't matter. They're in Spanish.
She's shaking them like maracas.
Yeah, like doing a little dance.
Fucking bootleg pills.
Right before that, she had just thrown her bottle of Zoloft out the window, and Willie picks it up and goes, that'll go in the stew, and throws it in a bag full of dead squirrels. That is the worst Scottish accent you've ever heard in your life, is what I did just now. Yowza. Lisa enjoys this. Like, you get the inner monologue of her being like,
she can't help it.
oh, I hate that I'm about to do this, but I love this. Bart and Lisa come across each other in the library, and Lisa has found that insane videotape called The Gal's Guide to Wowing the Workplace. Like, clearly made in the fucking 50s or 60s. It's all like Mad Men time, and it's all about like ladies, if you smile more, maybe you'll get that promotion, but definitely not, because oh my God. And Lisa is telling Bart, like, do you see why I'm conflicted about this? Because this is that bullshit. Now we're at the wedding. There's nobody on the bride side of the family. That entire side is empty. And they get Homer to walk the bride down the aisle, and Homer being like, I knew this day would come and he'll always be my little girl, because he's Homer and he's an idiot. That's good, classic, fun Homer. They lift the veil, and the bride is Marge. Of course it is.
Cut to commercial,
I'm sure that was a cut to commercial. Lisa gonna use her power for good now that everybody likes her. Now she can fucking enact some change. So she decides to run for student body president, and her opponent is W. Spuckler. I love when we put enough of one of the Spuckler children into the episode that we say their name.
Yeah, which haven't had that in a while.
Doesn't happen very often. Didn't happen very often back then, you know. W. Spuckler. So he's her opponent. They are going to have a debate, but first, like the day before, Lisa has to go get her bottom braces on and her top one's taken off. And of course, this is how it works. Now she's in a permanent frown.
Can't help it.
Showing her teeth the whole time, too, in the frown. Like
growling.
Yeah, like real, it's a look. We end up back at Artie Ziff's. Oh, I think they I think Marge and Homer actively go out to we got to see what the fuck is going on here. Yeah. You know, something suspicious. So they find Artie with his new Marge bride, who is a robot.
Yeah.
It's a Marge bot.
Yep. Get a little bit of Alien Resurrection here, where we see all the failed versions.
Okay. Having not seen Alien Resurrection, are they making alien robots in that movie?
They're cloning Ripley.
Oh.
It's
a
bad movie. Because when she died, she had a queen alien embryo inside her in Alien 3. Spoiler alert, you've had 30 years. And they keep trying to clone her because they think that they'll be able to she'll be recloned with that egg inside her, which makes no sense.
Not at all.
Yep. Which I think they eventually, to their credit, they eventually quit because it wasn't working. So all these clones are coming out half human, half alien. So just be this blob of fucking claws and human flesh screaming, kill me. I mean, it's pretty gnarly.
That's pretty
it's
metal.
One of the more metal scenes in a very unmetal movie. Way too French.
Are they Weyland-Yutani, I assume?
Yeah, I'm sure. In some kind of sleazy combination with the Colonial Marines.
Okay. You know. I think that you could do an office workplace dramedy set at Weyland-Yutani.
It's awesome that you're not an aliens guy, but you know Weyland-Yutani. God, the internet's an amazing
There's something about that phrase.
Yeah.
It's musical in a way that I've only seen the first 2 movies. I bet I've seen the first movie twice and the second movie 3 times. I'm not some fucking expert.
Yeah.
But that name, Weyland-Yutani, is in my brain.
One of the things I did enjoy about Prometheus is that Wayland is alive in Prometheus. He's an elderly man.
Yeah.
And he wants to go into space.
I really didn't like Prometheus at all.
I did, which is a hot take, because America clearly didn't make any money. I just wish it wouldn't have had anything to do with the alien movies. I thought it felt tacked on.
I know a smattering of you people, by which I mean Prometheus enjoyers, and they all say the same thing. Like, I liked it. They shouldn't have had anything to do with Alien, but I liked it.
I like the idea of us discovering like the origin of humanity and we're created by some alien species.
The monomyth.
Yeah. And we find out that we've failed them and they're going to kill us.
Yeah.
They're going to like erase this mistake.
Yeah.
That's a good
That's Buck
idea.
Wild.
Yeah.
Great idea. There's also that insane laser abortion scene. Maybe my favorite part of that whole movie.
That is a good part in that movie.
Where it's
That's
just like,
fucking
Jesus,
tense.
all right.
Yeah, that's the beauty of like having a sci-fi movie. You can just have that. Oh, it's a fucking tanning bed that'll do any surgery you need.
Yeah,
you know?
like we got this tanning bed and we got all these plasma cutters.
Yeah. It's a logical conclusion.
Yeah.
I think isn't it just like remove foreign entity or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah, it's very amusing.
And yeah, the thing is growing as it's getting wrestling out.
Yeah.
Like that is fucking wild.
It's the one part of the movie I liked.
I don't know. I like when they first get onto the ship. I think there's good tension there.
Sure. Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen yet.
There's some good. They're pretending to be the best parts of some alien films.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. Yeah.
I also like the look of the progenitor alien.
Yep.
The all white, the pale buff man.
A little bigger than us.
Yep. I think that's a good look.
Yeah.
That scene though, when they're running away from that thing that's rolling at them, and they never once run perpendicular to the thing. Like, if something round if you were running from a runaway Ferris wheel, run 5 feet to your right, and you're fine. It'll go right by you.
I mean, have you never played GoldenEye? You just strafe. You just
Yes,
strafe.
Just strafe.
Hit the C left or C right, you'll strafe right out of the way.
Just give me a little strafe.
Yeah. One thing about that movie, too, now that I think about it, I enjoyed almost all the cast members. I think Idris Elba was a good captain of the ship.
Yep.
Fassbender
is amazing.
He plays emotionless so well.
Yep.
You know, like
The only thing Fassbender hasn't been able to save is that fucking Assassin's Creed movie. That's terrible.
I forget.
So did everyone else.
He is the assassin, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That movie is
I
awful.
guess you know what? He probably wanted a kick-ass beach house. You know,
Yeah.
this could be my
sure he
franchise
fucking got one, too.
where I make a bunch of money.
Video game movies don't have a ton of a great track record, so maybe you risk that kind of thing, but Beach House.
Yeah.
So this bride is a Marge bot. There's a bunch of other failed Marge bots, and Artie Ziff comes clean. Of course it had to be you. I never got over you from fucking high school prom. And I thought that if you saw us together, that it would make you realize how good we are together or look together. Insane logic leaps.
Insanity.
On Artie Ziff's part. Marge talks him down from this. Like, nah, you can't. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
And we get a quick clip of him having the robots build an orphanage out in the jungle. That's fun. So he put them to good use.
Yeah.
And then he's like, and something, one of you is coming home with me, and they grow wings and fly away. Ridiculous. Lisa, frowny Lisa, has to have this debate with W. Spuckler, and it's being had at the school, obviously. And speaking of fucking throwback references, Governor Bailey is at the school debate.
Good pull, yeah.
Remember
You're right.
Remember when Burns ran against her in season 3?
Yep. I forgot about that. You're right. She doesn't say a whole lot in this one. She just comes out,
introduces the two kids. Yeah. But yeah, as soon as they said that name, I was like, man, I think we're in season 31. The writers grew up watching The Simpsons. Yeah. I think that's what's happening here.
Oh, interesting. But yeah, totally.
We finally reached that point where people who grew up watching The Simpsons are old enough to get hired.
Are now creating The Simpsons. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. I think that's exciting. Lisa performing, or not performing, but she's at this debate via Skype, and she has a big fake digital smile plastered over her face. Kind of like when, was it Conan who did the talking, like a photo with a moving mouth?
Where it's a still of the celebrity and then the mouth is superimposed.
Yeah, this is like the backwards of that.
Yeah.
The inverse. The backwards of that, Marlon. The inverse. Jesus Christ. Get your fucking life together.
It's hard out here.
It goes wrong. Lisa like moves her head or something, and it's very apparent that it's a fake mouth. Lisa comes out and just takes the L. She like turns and shows everybody her frowny face, and nobody likes that. And that's it. And then we get Lisa out on the playground with Marge talking about like, oh, you know, it sucks, and oh, people only like you if you smile and all this and that. And Marge gives her a little pep talk, a little like, you know what, you girls are like, she kind of does a, it's too late for us, but you girls are going to change shit, and it's going to be great. And then that old man comes along from the beginning of the episode and tells her, well, I thought you were smiling. And that turns out that's a robot Marge, and she grabs that dude and flies away.
Yeah.
It's a very silly ending.
Yeah. At one point, we get Nelson saying the line, Americans can be fat and poor. That's what makes us great.
So good. I like that episode quite a bit.
Yep, very enjoyable.
Yep. That, God damn it. Abe losing his mind at that Lowe's hardware ad. 3/4 plywood for 20 a sheet. We got to go. I don't have a car.
I think I'd put it a smidge below the earlier one, but I still enjoyed them both.
It's pretty neck and neck for me.
I'm a sucker for the holiday episodes. That probably,
probably
what helps nudge it ahead.
Yeah, you get that holiday nudge.
Yeah.
Man, I love a holiday nudge.
Oh, man. With almonds. Let's check out episode 12, The Miseducation of Lisa Simpson. That's a good title.
Is that a Lauryn Hill reference?
Yeah, sure is. Yeah. I was just thinking recently, I don't know if I've ever listened to that album all the way through.
I was just about to ask you, have you ever listened to that album?
I remember when it was big, but
I sure haven't. I don't fucking...
I can't even think. I don't even know. I mean, it was successful, but I don't know, besides that thing, if there were many big hits off of it. There probably are. I'm just not thinking of it.
That's the only one I know, yeah.
I mean, it was a big album.
I was not listening to that type of music at the time.
Okay.
I just wasn't.
This would have been 98 or 99, if I had to guess.
Okay.
Right around there.
Yeah, I was deep into like Cypress Hill and Kid Rock.
Okay.
I was full new metal by 98, 99.
You don't think Lauryn Hill was duetting with Kid Rock?
No, I don't believe so. I don't think she shows up on that album.
You know, the insane thing is, at that time, it wouldn't have seemed
seemed weird. Yeah.
He wasn't a nut yet.
Eminem's a fucking guest on that first record.
Yep. Yeah, good point.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Can you think of the song off your head?
The Eminem one?
Yeah. I can't, but I can remember it in the track listings.
Is it? It's not one of the hits.
Yep, that's what I mean. I just can't think of it. One time I could have named it.
I want to say Black Chick, White Guy, and I bet that's not it. I bet I'm wrong in that.
Yeah.
I bet I'm just pulling a different deep cut from the second half of that record.
So I'll sign with that too. The ship's going down on that.
That album still good.
A couple bangers. I don't know if I still enjoyed it as much as I hope I don't enjoy it as much now as I did when I was 19.
Ba with the ba fucks. That song still fucks hard.
Yeah, Bull God. I'm a Bull God guy.
I always thought Bull God was a lesser.
Oh, really?
A lesser song.
Yeah.
It's so like boring.
I mean, it was never the biggest. It was the first single.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first video I ever saw of that. But
I probably don't ever need to hear Cowboy again.
Nope. I agree with that.
But Ba with the ba, outstanding.
Yeah. Episode 12. Episode begins with a cold open on a remote mountain cabin where a man and a woman appear to be in some kind of shot drinking contest surrounded by like local mountain men.
Yep.
A Nazi officer and two goons enter holding a portion of a map. A scuffle ensues. Nazis are lit on fire. And the man and women escape with the Nazi officer's portion of the map. They combine them together, and it shows that it is a map to Springfield. and the man announces that he will go there to find the treasure. Then we see like 40 years later, I think is what it is. Cut to none other than the goddamn sea captain living a boring life searching for that treasure. It's like they have a map, and it's like they go 20 yards, do a sonar scan, go another 20 yards, do a sonar scan.
Yeah, it's like grid searching.
Just doing this insanely. Everyone's bored. Everyone's looks sad on the fucking ship. Then we find out when he goes home that the woman he was with as an adventurer is now his long-suffering housewife, just washing the dishes.
So unhappy.
When she says, "I made you a roast for dinner, then I threw it away." Then the next line is, "I'm sorry that I didn't give you any children." Fucking bleak. There hasn't been one laugh.
I love this.
There hasn't been one laugh yet.
So good.
Jesus, that's rough. So cut back to the middle of the ocean. There's like some kind of underwater disturbance that to restart.
Yeah. He takes the map with all the red X's down and puts up a new blank map.
Oh my God, yeah.
And then he just dryly like says the grid number,
the coordinates,
and then they ping, and then nothing, and he puts a red X on the map.
And then eventually they hear 2 pings. And then he's like, "I've waited so long to say this, boys, get your wetsuits." And these
They blow the dust off their oxygen tanks.
And they go down there with some chains and some hooks, and goddamn if they don't bring up a gigantic treasure chest.
Yeah.
Like heaping with fucking jewels.
Yeah, classic pirate chest. Yeah.
So they're all fucking psyched. They get back to the shore where on the dock they're met by, I think it's the cops, the blue-haired lawyer, and Mayor Quimby. Turns out they redid the maps to make where they found that treasure part of Springfield city limits. Convenient.
Yeah.
Turns out the mayor is fucking stupid Mrs. fucking Sea Captain.
She turned on him.
Jesus fucking
Wasting all these
Christ.
years of her life.
Gave him all the intel. So now we see a passed out, pathetic, drunk sea cap. Jesus is depressing.
This opening is amazing.
So good.
Oh my God. We got backstory on the sea captain.
I don't think we see him again.
No, I don't think so.
This is it for him. So
And it starts. That's Indiana Jones. That starting thing where they're having the
really?
shot contest
Oh.
in the fucking Himalayas or wherever that is. And then the Nazi comes in and shit. And then the fucking dismal state of their marriage.
oh my God, yeah. I made you a roast for dinner, but then I threw it away.
I threw it away. Holy shit!
Good
it's
God.
So amazing.
Ridiculous. So good.
And then when Quimby is like, "Oh, we just redid the zoning," and he holds up the map, and you clearly just drew it with a Sharpie. He's like, "But how did you know? I've laid low these entire 40 years just pretending to be some one-note character."
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Oh my God.
These last 30 years I've been pretending to be one note so everyone would overlook me.
Oh my God.
Oh, shit.
So
Amazing.
now Springfield has to decide what to do with all these doubloons.
A classic Springfield premise.
So they're in the city hall, and there's a giant treasure chest just sitting there. Like, what are we gonna do with all this? A bunch of people have a bunch of dumb yet fun ideas, and then Marge gets up and says that they should invest all this money into a new STEM-based school for the kids, which is met with yawns, but eventually Marge sways them with a powerful R&B tune sung by John Legend about the benefits of a STEM education, and that sways everyone into supporting it. Then we get Chrissy Teigen, a little back and forth.
Yeah,
there, you know.
she's fun. She's a little firecracker.
Now, just like fucking that, the old school's gone.
Yep.
Now they have this gigantic state-of-the-art school. And fucking Skinner and fucking Chalmers are out of a job.
Forced retirement.
Yeah, and I can't remember what Skinner says he's going to spend his time doing, But Chalmers is like, I'm going to take an Ohio River cruise. Lots of widows on the old river. What a thing. Like, oh, he's got this all planned out in his head.
Chalmers just going to go chase widows.
So at the new school, Lisa and Bart meet Sim Furlong.
Zane.
Yeah. Oh, Zane Furlong, the school CEO, which Bart is skeptical. He's like, I know a principal when I see a principal.
He even calls him New Skinner.
Is that really?
Yeah. Listen, New Skinner. That's Zach Woods from Silicon Valley.
Oh, I was just going to say Silicon Valley.
Office, tall, skinny, really awkward guy.
Okay.
I like him.
Bart is skeptical until he finds out that he can learn about geometry by playing asteroids all day. Apparently, there's like a gaming center he can just walk into, and
They've gamified education.
yeah, and he's there for it. He's loving it. Lisa is thrilled because she gets to go to a class for the gifted students. That's all she's ever wanted. They're having a good time until Homer's eventually invited to a career day. I think that's what they call it. And where he talks about what he does, and he is used as an example of a job that will be soon eliminated by computers, which Homer is a very scared man. This fucking terrifies him. But Bart is thriving. Bart's climbing up the good grades leaderboard, which I like that it's because they gamify it. There's a leaderboard. And I fucking like when they show the leaderboard. If you look, Shauna is in second place. Her username, I'm Shauna.
Amazing.
It's so good.
Fantastic.
Why would Shauna be second?
I love that that Bart, when they first tell him oh, go in here and study geometry, the hook is you can earn skins.
Yeah.
Because kids love skins.
Yeah, he's so excited.
And
about
Bart goes, oh, skins, that's how boys play dress up, and goes running into that VR room.
So good.
And he's so excited about the skins he's unlocking.
The camouflage, a reptile.
Very, very any mobile game you've ever played.
Exactly.
And or Fortnite.
Yeah. Lisa goes down into the basement where Bart is wearing a VR helmet. Well, the second episode that features a VR helmet prominently. And Bart is he's playing some kind of virtual reality game where he's loading e-scooters into a truck so they can be charged.
Yeah.
There's a job I wouldn't mind having.
Ugh, not me.
Around town, listen to podcasts, charging scooters. I could get behind that.
I wouldn't mind it if we're talking a two-man team and I can either be the driver or the scooter tosser, but I don't want to do both.
Yeah.
I remember growing up,
charging electric scooters.
yeah, we love electric scooters out where I come from. They go through the cactus so well. Having to get out and get at your own gate is such a pain in the ass. You always want somebody with you to get gates.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you get out of the pickup, open the gate, drive through, get out, close the gate, get back in, drive away.
You do the thing where you put your shoulder into it and wrap your arm around it and pull together. And then you reach up with the offhand and it comes apart real nice and easy.
Oh yeah. Because they're stretched so goddamn tight. There's some that you almost can't get when you're a
someone
kid.
showed me that, it was such a goddamn game changer.
Oh yeah, you got to put your arm around the tie and squeeze, bring the post closer, and then throw the loop on.
That is some legit work, smarter, not harder.
Oh yeah. How else would you do it? You up there just
busting your fucking fingers. Your 9-year-old
oh my god.
Your dad's using it as a social experiment. I wonder if he'll figure it out.
Yeah, I bet that's every dad. Yeah. I bet every dad who has to deal with a barbed wire gate lets the kid learn that one. I remember some back home being like, God, who fucking stretched this gate? This is no one in the world can get this gate. You gotta get a wire stretcher. You gotta get a come along to open this goddamn gate.
We need to make a trip to town to open this gate.
I'm just getting the fucking fencing plier. I'm snipping. I'm cutting, baby.
So Lisa now was very disturbed by what's going on at this school. And she soon discovers that they're training the dumb kids to do menial labor side hustles.
Outstanding.
Right? Yeah,
I love this turn.
Great premise. Lisa tries to rile up the dumb kids, but Bart convinces them that there's no problem. We're all doing good because he doesn't like Lisa rabble-rousing because he's happy with this new school.
He's enjoying school, finally.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah.
This is what you all said you wanted.
Lisa then goes and tries to change the school's education software, but Bart stops her. Mr. Furlong shows up, and Lisa tells him her concerns. He says that the algorithm will have all the answers. So around this time, we cut Homer, because we forget. I almost was so into this, I forgot. Oh, fucking Homer's doing some Homer shit.
Yeah, we really crowbar Homer into this episode.
This is definitely a B- story.
Homer didn't need to be here even, really.
This does feel, we need Homer.
Yeah.
He's still sketched out by what he was told at career date. He's been bothered by all this. And he's really bothered the fact that all of his coworkers are really enjoying this new, like, what do they call these machines at like a movie theater? There's a name for these fancy soda machines.
It's like, I think Coke calls theirs the Remix, like Coke Remix machine. They all have their own brand name, but like, you can get Coke with a little orange in it.
Yeah, you know, fucking mellow yellow cookies and cream.
Freestyle is what Coke's is
Freestyle.
called. Yeah,
thank you. Yeah,
I got my DJ scratching terms mixed up.
So everyone's loving it, and he's trying to convince him that this thing is going to be the end of all of them. And he eventually sets out to prove that a man can outpour any soda machine. So I saw coming. We're gonna get like a John Henry-esque battle of Homer versus a new soda machine. He's got like slightly bigger than a card table folded out with a bunch of 2 liters on it. He's pouring everyone some pops. He fucking does it too. We get like a song,
this
like
fucking
an old-timey song of him outpouring. He's doing a pretty piss poor job, but God, he's trying his best.
Yeah, sweating the dickens,
sweating a lot into that pop. Homer, again, he does outdo it, and everyone cheers. Well, everyone's like, yeah, no machine can outbeat us. And in the background, you see fucking Burns and Skinner, like, introducing a new line of robots to work in the power plant.
Yeah, they're all losing their jobs as we speak.
Oh, God. So that was pretty good. Cut back to school. Bart and Lisa appear on all the screens in the new school with a horrifying message because the algorithm has finally showed them that the school was designed to prepare the kids for the jobs of tomorrow, and it turns out the only job in the future will be elder care.
So fucking funny.
I think it's Bart that goes, the one job robots refuse to do.
And it turns out STEM doesn't stand for science, tech, engineering, and math. It stands for sponge bathing, toileting, elder massage.
That is good.
Jesus.
The students revolt by taking out their cell phones and giving the school 0-star reviews, which causes the computer to start the school's self-destruct sequence. And the school soon explodes.
And the algorithm, like the big computer, like as its star rating is falling, is like there's like suicide jokes in here, which was so bizarre. Like there's a big like digital crying face, and as the star rating falls, it's like self-esteem dwindling, can't take anymore. Like Jesus, school suicide.
School's real sad. We cut to Skinner and Chalmers hanging by the burning remains of the new school. And Chalmers mentions the kids won't be able to go to the new school because they won't be able to go back to the old school because the city followed Sideshow Mel's suggestion and made the old school into a rock and roll hall of fame that refuses to let in Pearl Jam.
So I don't get the joke. Like, that's so strange.
And Buster, I happen to like Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
Sideshow Mel.
Like, I don't really care for Pearl Jam, but I think they should probably be in there. I'm sure they are in there.
Gotta be. Yeah. We see now, I don't know how, not far into the future, but into the future, we see Mr. Furlong delivering a Postmates order to The Simpsons, which is depressing.
Did you catch what he was ordering? What Homer had ordered?
No, but yeah, what is it?
Another one of like, these fucking kids are writing this show now. It's garbage wings.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I remember that, but I don't remember that being a thing from earlier.
It's fucking forever ago. I think it's like a birthday or bachelor party for Kirk Van Houten, and they all come in tiny dumpsters. They have all these little dumpsters full of wings.
Fucking A.
Garbage Wings is back.
A deep fucking cut.
I marked the fuck out. I was like, oh, perfect.
Oh, my God. I forgot all about that. So he's dropping that off. Homer gets his food. The kids ask him what he thinks the jobs of the future will be. And his response is, with technology always changing, it's hard to know what the jobs of the future will be because everything keeps changing. We cut to the far future, and now grown-up Bart and grown-up Lisa are slaves in a world ran by soda machines, and they are just forced to pour soda to all the machines.
Kind of perfect. I liked that.
Yep. That was a good episode.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this one.
Did you stay for the Marvel-esque post-credits second addendum?
What was it?
So when an episode ends on Disney Plus and like the credits start rolling, usually it like zooms down and gives a little synopsis of the next episode, and you can just click next episode.
Yeah.
But in this one, the thing in the corner said skip credits, and I was like, okay. And that shows up when you watch the Marvel movies and shit. So I was like, wait, is there something extra? And there is. It's fucking Chalmers on a paddle boat on the river,
talking to a
dressed in white with that pork pie hat, talking to some middle-aged woman. He's just like, I'm sure Reginald was such a good man.
Talking about her ex or lost husband.
And then, lower voice is just like, may I sketch you? Jesus.
This has to be a reference to the may I sketch.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
But I love Chalmers trolling for widows on the riverboat.
A lot of widows on the old river. A lot of widows.
This is an outstanding episode.
And a lot of 3 pretty darn good ones to start things off.
I love this. Man, we get fucking 8 minutes of Sea Captain.
Jesus,
Sea Captain's backstory.
This was very good.
To start the episode. And some good jokes. There's one where Furlong is explaining to the children what an algorithm is, and he's explaining, like, this is all run by an algorithm. Does anyone know what an algorithm is? And Lisa gives a proper example. And then I think it's Martin goes, it's like when you watch a lot of close-up magic videos on YouTube, and then you start getting ads for suicide hotlines. Amazing. And then there's a moment after the school blows up where Bart and Lisa are standing out front of it, and Bart's like, "We did it, we won, we stopped it." And Lisa just real calmly and poignantly goes, she says, "Well, that's still going to be the only job that exists. Now we just won't know how to do it." Like
that is good.
Just pulls the rug out from Bart's victory.
Mentioning Martin, we've gotten a lot of Martin, more Martin than we have in a long time recently.
Yeah, and it's new Martin, remember, because they had to replace that voice actor or actress.
You can't tell. Actress.
Yeah.
I don't think
can't
you can
tell at all. Yeah. Martin and Sherry, I think the episodes where the new voice actor or actress was in them happened last week, and we glossed over it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't tell. Sounds perfect.
Yeah, rarely am I bummed if Martin's in an episode.
Yeah. I love all 3 of these episodes, and that might be my favorite one.
Jeez, it'd be tough. Yeah. That beginning goes a long way.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy the rest of it. That beginning is ridiculous.
Yeah, the rest of the episode is made better by how good the front is.
That's prime Simpsons quality.
100%.
Yeah. And just to spend 2-3 minutes with something that has nothing to do with the rest of the show, or tangential, it's like, we just need a reason for them to have money.
Yeah.
That's all they needed. Like, whoever thought of that as the way for them to get that extra money.
The Indiana Jones intro, the fucking... You didn't have to do any of that fucking stuff with his wife. Yeah. It's outstanding. I loved it.
Sorry I didn't give you a child.
I made a roast for dinner, and then I threw it away.
So good.
Episode 13 is Frink Coin. We got to a crypto episode.
That was one of my first notes. Is this our first crypto?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta be. Simpsons aren't always topical, but I feel like when they are trying to be topical, it's really obvious. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, we're doing a Facebook one.
Yep,
we're doing a Bitcoin one.
It's never subtle because they never beat you to the punch.
Right.
Because it takes so long to make these episodes.
Yeah, these are all written a year beforehand. We start out at maybe my favorite new restaurant. It's the vegan restaurant called the Lentil Institution. Awesome.
Pretty good.
Love it. They're all, well, not all, but both of the parents are buttering up Lisa because they want to be the subject of her most interesting paper, most interesting person paper that she has to write.
I love how Bart sees through it all.
Yeah, right away. He's like, "What? Hang on. What are you guys doing?" But she breaks it to him that she's going to do it on Frink. That's who she's decided is the most interesting person. We get her going to the college. Is Frink a teacher?
Springfield University?
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah.
I guess Professor Frink. That's his name.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. He's got a sad backstory. Both his parents were scientists. The only way he could get them to notice him is to be a good scientist and to put on this weird voice.
Yeah.
And he is going to, like his new invention is that he's going to make his own cryptocurrency. Frink coin. Yeah. He's got a video with Jim Parsons. I don't know who that is. Some scientist, I guess, or somebody, explaining what crypto is, and it didn't help me at all.
Makes you more confused.
Yeah.
It's like, this hurts my head.
I have known people who know what crypto is. Like I worked with a guy in like 2017 who had been in on Bitcoin for 15 years at that point. Like had a good amount of money. I believe bought a house with fucking Bitcoin. And he tried multiple times to explain it to me. Couldn't tell you a fucking thing about Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency. No idea.
Yeah. It's blockchain and mining for
sure.
Yep. Something that they mine.
I know the amount of electricity it takes to mine Bitcoin is fucking astounding and gonna ruin the world. But I think we're veering away from this.
Yeah.
Like the people aren't buying up all the computer graphics cards and putting them in a shipping container to mine Bitcoin anymore. Thank fucking God. But that was definitely a thing back then.
Yeah.
So he's going to unveil his new Bitcoin. Arnie Pie in the sky is covering the big reveal. I just learned how helicopters fly, and I'm terrified.
God, Arnie Pile's batting average. Pretty good.
They put good words in Arnie's mouth 100% of the time.
Do. You know who is someone we haven't seen on the media end in a while? The morning show guys.
Oh, the radio guys? Yeah.
Boy.
He's Bill. He's Marty. Yeah. Two grown men who can't get enough of each other.
So good.
Frink immediately a billionaire. Like Frink, this takes off. Frink is very successful, and now Montgomery Burns is furious.
Knocked off the top of the mountain.
Yeah, he is so mad that he is not the richest man in town anymore. I like this little touch of Waylon calls him Monty, and Burns is so mad at how familiar he's being.
Yeah, he does not like that.
He even says, "You think just because you chew up my food and spit it into my mouth that we're on a first name basis?"
Here, it's lobster thermidor. I am allergic, sir. Well, I am not.
So good. And I was like, oh, more Burns, yay.
I even flinched when he called him Monty.
Ooh, yeah.
We're not there yet.
31 seasons. You're not allowed to call him Monty.
Take it back.
Frink now super successful. He can leave his fucking professor job that he clearly was not enjoying. He's rich. He's in a mansion, and he is so unhappy.
Yeah.
Money cannot buy happiness, which I'm not sure I believe, but we're going to believe it for this episode. It's either Lisa or Marge, I forget who, has Homer take Frink down to Moe's, see if he can cheer him up a little bit. Homer is like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'd rather hang out with your sisters. And Marge is like, well, they're on their way. Yeah. And he's already out the door. Going to take Frink to Moe's, bye. And as he walks past Patty and Selma, they say something snarky about him being fat.
Yeah.
And then they turn to each other, and the one says, do you want a cigarette? Not anymore, now that we're Disney. And they put on Minnie Mouse ears.
I wonder if that's true.
I thought the same thing. I was like, wait a minute, when's the last time we saw them smoke?
I wonder if they never smoke anymore.
I wonder if that's a real thing. It could just be a joke.
Yeah.
If that's the case, it's a good joke. We got down to Moe's. We're having trivia night, and everyone's terrible at it. Haven't participated in one of these for a while, where you get the little you get the little keypad at your fucking
They
table.
had their moment, but yeah, you don't see them much
Are they
anymore.
dead? Are they gone?
If you go to a Buffalo Wild Wings and they're not there, that means they're dead.
Yeah, if B-Dubs isn't carrying them anymore, you're
That
done.
place was all about the like electronic trivia.
Yeah, now I want wings.
Yeah. I never don't want wings.
That's true. You would, boy, if I were on death row because I murdered 47 people.
Okay. I don't like how quickly you came up with that number. Could have said 2.
And and the last meal request is being put in. It's not gonna just be wings, but there's gonna be wings.
Yeah, it'd be hard not to.
I want a rare ribeye steak and a dozen hot wings.
That's the thing for me too. It's not like I don't want like a giant steak. I want a good little steak, a little filet mignon.
Oh, a little filet, yeah.
Because I'm gonna have a little bit of everything.
Sure, yeah.
A little picky here, a little picky there. Nom.
I probably want some big fat steak fries. I want too much cheesecake.
Yep, I'd fuck with some cheesecake.
And a tanker of Pepsi. Just bring
Coke
just
Classic.
run the Pepsi hose in between the bars.
Maybe a nice cold chocolate milk too.
Oh, sure. And a regular milk.
Yeah. Oh, you okay?
I'll drink regular milk over chocolate milk any given day.
Oh, right.
Any day of the week.
With a meal, I would. But I was thinking chocolate milk is like a post-meal digestive.
I had
Because nothing helps to like dairy.
an ice cream. I want ice cream.
I'd want a good ice cream. Yep.
Boy, I'm going to die eating all this food is what's going to happen.
I'd want a good, like, drive-in type cheeseburger, like a little just regular.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a sucker for it with some crinkle cut fries.
I love a crinkle fry.
Yeah.
Definitely ice cream.
I'm gonna eat 17,000 calories.
Yeah. I had a chocolate milk yesterday for the first time in months. I so rarely get a chocolate milk, but I was at a gas station yesterday and the mood hit
Yep.
and I got me a chocolate milk.
They got the good chocolate milk. Bad chocolate milk's disappointing. A good one will change your day.
It was is it Land O'Lakes or Cass Clay that does the mini jugs?
Yeah.
Like they look like a gallon jug, but I think they're like
cutie pies.
they're like a pint or 2 pints.
Yeah.
I was like, I got one of those.
Yeah.
It was good. It was real good.
I'm a Swiss chocolate milk guy.
Yeah, I think this is Land O'Lakes Swiss chocolate milk. I don't think it's Swiss brand chocolate milk. I think the marketing has gotten tricky on Swiss.
Sure.
We're just throwing Swiss onto things.
Reading the nutritional facts.
Yeah, exactly.
Real chunks of Swiss, so you know it's good.
The cheese?
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Swiss Toblerone? That doesn't sound right. I was not ready for how many calories are in one of those little jugs.
Yep.
I was like, it must be one. It must be a serving.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
There's about 4 of them in there.
1,600 calories.
I drank about 900 calories of chocolate milk yesterday at 10:30 at night.
That's a good way to go to bed.
I fucking went to bed too because that's a lot of milk to drink all at once.
Just holding you down to bed.
I had to drive 4 blocks home and it was gone, baby. Took it to the head. So we're doing trivia night and they're doing terribly until Frink gets there and then they win and they're all celebrating and they're having a good time. Yeah. They're drinking, enjoying themselves.
Frink finally out with the people.
Frink has a crew, finally. Burns still fucking sticking it to Smithers. He got him his own private parking spot, but it's miles away at the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
And Smithers has these nerds, and they are working on Burns' own crypto, Burns Coin.
Burns Coin.
And Smithers still not dealing with Burns being mad at him.
Yeah.
Ends up in assistance therapy where all these like personal assistants to celebrities are like in therapy dealing with their troubles. And I forget precisely how that scene wraps up. I didn't.
It's them all like trauma shouting out who their who was the worst person they worked for.
Okay.
Because if one person's like I flinch because I always worry about Bruce Willis throwing a phone at me, and they just start shouting out because it's tons of Roseanne, a few Trumps,
a lot of them are
lots of
Roseanne. Yeah, and there's a handful of Trumps in there. Yeah. The barflies are all hanging with Frank. We're enjoying ourselves. They're partying. They're having a good old time. In the meantime, Burns's nerds have come up. They can't come up with a new Bitcoin or a new cryptocurrency that is better than Frank's.
Yeah.
But what they have come up with is an equation that will destroy all cryptocurrencies, including Frank's. But none of them can solve the equation. They're like, this is going to take 900 years or something to compute this equation. Meanwhile, Lisa tells Frank that they're all fucking leeches. That all of the barflies, like those aren't your real friends, man.
What do you mean, Fatso, Drunky, and the evil bartender?
And then we get like Lisa and Frank kind of seeing their true colors.
Yeah.
Fucking Barney steals his telescope off his yacht.
Homer steals the anchor.
Yep. Because it's Burns, not Lisa, sorry, that puts that idea into his head. Like you're never gonna not know if people actually like you or if they just like your money. And so this is driving Frank crazy. Meanwhile, Burns and Smithers put the whiteboard with the unsolvable equation in town because they're like, we may as well crowdsource this shit, see if a whole town's worth of people can get to the bottom of this before these three nerds. I forget how we get here, but Wiggum is like, says something along the lines of, oh, somebody's putting up those goddamn billboards critiquing my police work. It just does 3 billboards of like, why Wiggum, 25 years, 0 cases solved.
Yeah.
Why, Chief Wiggum? And then he's like, who could be doing this? And then there's a 4th one, and it's Eddie painting it, and it says, give Eddie more to do.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed, I think it's when we're looking at the equation in the city center. If you look next to the android's dungeon, there's a place called Skip's Dinner and Ice Cream. We ever been to Skip's?
I don't think so.
That's a rando one. I was like, but like the science, it was distinctive enough. It almost felt like, funny, we haven't been in there before.
No, that doesn't ring a bell for me.
I figured not, but it's like, I wonder if we'll ever get in there.
We have an ice cream shop, Phineas T. Buttercreams.
Yeah, yes, we do. Because like for a long time, King Toots was a place that we never got into.
Yeah,
Eventually.
it's just next to Moe's. Yeah. Frank gets his proof that none of them are any good. These fair weather fucking leeching hanging on friends of his, and so he's back to being alone, really. And then overnight, we wake up one morning and someone has solved the equation on the board, and so it goes into effect. There's no more cryptocurrencies. Burns is the richest man in town again. I love that he even says like, oh, I'm back. I'm at the top of the world, the richest man in this town of 36,000 people. And then we get a moment with Lisa and Frank where, of course, it's Frank.
Lisa figured it out.
Yeah. Frank is the one who solved the equation, even knowing that it would cost everything that he had.
And Springfield really let Frank down.
Big time. Yeah, it's, I think, easily the weakest of the batch.
Yeah, I still enjoyed it, but yeah, it
was good, but not like, there wasn't a ton of shit that really got me going in this one, but a perfectly fine episode.
Yeah, and I think the ending is the sexual chemistry between him and his office mate is too much to bear.
Just bubbles over. Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah. Our final episode of the batch, episode 14, Bart the Bad Guy.
Bart the Noun, a naming convention we haven't done in a long time.
My first Bart the title in a minute. There was a time that was, I bet season 2, 8 of the 20-some episodes are Bart the.
Yeah, 100%.
That was a very common thing. The Simpsons are in a movie theater to watch some big superhero movie. The place is packed.
Vindicators Crystal War.
Okay, there we go. I knew the Vindicators had to be in the title. The bad guy, Chinos, who's supposed to be Thanos, destroys the Vindicators, and the movie is left on a cliffhanger. What was the name of that one that ended that way?
Infinity War.
That was Infinity War. What was the sequel called?
Endgame.
Endgame. There we go. So it's on a cliffhanger. Cut to the school's auditorium. We just get that. Everyone's, sad and distraught because it appears a bunch of the Vindicators are dead, just like it did in,
Infinity War, yeah.
Cut to the school's auditorium where Skinner is trying to deter the children from doing the newest internet trend, the Flag Yourself Challenge. Which, why does he think this is the way to go? He shows he's like, instead of me telling you about it, I thought I would show you this YouTube video of a very popular influencer. This dude talking about how awesome the Flag Yourself Challenge is.
I would show you so you do better at not doing the thing I'm showing you. It's very funny.
So as you can imagine, and what it is apparently you just get yourself run up a flagpole. Yeah. And as you can imagine, this just inspires all the kids to do it. Bart, of course, one of those kids. It's with Milhouse and Nelson and one other kid's help. They're able to do it. So they hook Bart to the rope as you're running a flag up. He gets up there. They're shooting video of him up there goofing around. But while that's going on, Milhouse ends up getting drugged down fucking several stories of concrete stuff because his leg gets wrapped in the flag line. Yeah, fuck you up. So, when it cuts to the hospital, cut to Nelson in the bed, or cut to Milhouse in the bed. He's lying under like a pitcher's mound of like frozen baggy things.
Ice packs.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
And, oh my God. What the doctors told him too. It's like he has a full body sprain. And then Milhouse is like, most of my muscles are wrapped around the wrong bones.
That's amazing. That's such a good line. The bar that they were doing the flag challenge outside of, by the way, the Veterans of Unpopular Wars.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which we've seen before.
Been a while.
Yeah, little things, little callbacks.
So Milhouse gets taken away to physical therapy, which he's not a fan of. About this time, a drunken actor named Glenn Tangier pulls up in a limo. He's very drunk and getting drunker. Turns out he plays Airshot in these superhero movies. And he appears at the hospital to visit Milhouse. He goes up to Milhouse's room, but since Milhouse is at PT, it's just Bart hanging out there. And Bart does not correct him when he calls him Milhouse. Because he knows, like, holy shit, that's fucking Airshot.
Yep.
And then you quickly surmise that he's kind of doing a Make-A-Wish, visit sick kids type thing.
Exactly. And is hammered because he hates doing these.
Because it would be depressing.
Yep.
And he's like, oh, so you're not like, you're going to get better? He's like, yeah, I guess. Like, oh, good. He's like, because for the ones that don't get better, I got to show them this. He's like patting a laptop bag.
Yeah.
And then he kind of lets it slip that it's allowing these terminally ill kids to see the end of the second of the Vindicators movies.
Yeah.
That a fucking light goes off in Bart's head. Like, okay, you just sit there and you just relax. And of course, he's drunk, so he passes out. Bart gets that laptop out, puts his thumb, because it has a thumbprint ID.
Yeah.
And watches we get little clips of it. And it makes a dig at Marvel movies. The sun is up, the sun sets, the sun comes back up while he's watching.
Yeah, because those movies are long.
Yeah, it's just emotionally powerful. Bart is like, holy crap, that's amazing.
As Glenn Tangier is like in the process of passing out, he's mumbling to himself.
Oh my God, it's about, why didn't he be like my dad and be just a simple koala butcher?
I just wanted to be a simple koala butcher like my old man.
So good. And I think sometimes he's like mumbling about koala meat or something like that. Like,
yeah, it's outstanding. It's so good. He keeps slipping back into his Australian accent.
Yeah.
So good.
So after this, it dawns on Bart that he's the only one in town that knows what's coming up in the new movie. Bart goes to the comic book shop and asks Comic Book Guy if what he would give him if he could get intel on what happens in that final Vindicators movie. At first, comic book guy excitedly gives Bart the graphic novel he desires. Can't remember the name. It's just on the shelf behind him. And then he just has like this struggle. He's like, oh, I want to know. Don't tell me. I want to know. Don't tell me. And then finally, he just like rips the book in half, I think. And is like, okay, that way, this is off the table. I don't want to know. And Bart, dejected, walks out. And then he's like, this is clever. This is clever. It's like, what would you pay me to not know how the movie ends?
This is also very Bart-like.
Yep. And then we cut to him in like a little Power Wheels Batmobile with like a shopping cart full of shit.
Yeah.
So he basically just extorted fucking comic book guy. And that's when we get a really good fucking heel turn here. Like when he realizes what he's capable of, like then it's, the true evil of Bart comes out here.
He has a power.
Yeah. So then he becomes known as the kid with the power to spoil the movie. Like people are scared of him.
Yeah.
Like, the hallways part, no one wants anything to do with him. He eventually uses the power to score some extra chicken nuggies and also to score Skinner's toupee. So good. What does it do? It's like with the lunch lady Doris, it's like my boyfriend was going to bring me that at the $2 theater.
Yeah, which the payoff for this
is good.
Is so good.
So he's got Skinner's toupee on, which is pretty great. He's just lying in bed, and Homer walks by and assumes it's, Mr. Skinner.
Hey, Principal Skinner.
What do I have the honor of you? Bart tries to use his knowledge to leverage Homer, which I liked this.
I love this scene.
And Homer's like, I don't care. I'm old enough to realize these movies are dumb. I don't care what spaceman does to this guy, does to that guy. It's all stupid to me.
Yeah.
And Bart's kind of taken aback by it. He's like, how about you and I work together? Bart is really thinking on the fly here.
I love the moment of Bart being like, what? My powers have no effect on you. And Homer's just like, yeah, I assume the good guys win. I don't know.
That's good.
Oh, Captain Spaceman fights Zip Zap, whatever.
It's like the good thing. They do win. And then it's like, how about you get in on this? And it's a quick cut to Moe's. Fucking Homer walks in wearing Skinner's toupee. Beers, everyone gets a round of beers. It's on the house. It's like, what? And that's when fucking Homer just puts that suitcase on the fucking bar, and Bart unzips himself out and tells him he's going to let him know how the movie is. Like, I was going to take my girlfriend to the $2 theater to watch that. So
Moe is dating the lunch lady?
Lunch lady Lewis and Moe are a fucking item.
Awesome.
Oh, my God. So that's what they're doing now. Homer gets free beer. He gets wasted. Lisa doesn't like any of this at all. And Bart's like, I'll show you that you would have no problem with this, I assure you. Cut to Springfield Elementary dance, and fucking Airshot is there dancing with Lisa and just saying all these glowing things about Lisa.
Who's all smiles.
Lisa's just absolutely on fucking cloud nine. Airshot, very drunk, not living his best
At
life.
a children's elementary school dance.
10 and younger. He angrily tells Bart, he's like, you better enjoy yourself because by next Thursday you'll be nothing, because that's when the movie airs worldwide.
Yeah.
And kind of Bart realized, oh shit, this great power's soon to end. So he decides to go big. He shows up. Bart basically blackmails the city into building him a gigantic tree house. I mean, you look at the schematics, it's insane.
A tree mansion in their historic 200-year-old tree.
Because he just stumbles on them having some kind of ceremony for this tree.
Yeah.
The perfect tree for my tree house. For the first time, we get Milhouse finally out of the hospital. And he angrily, because he found out that he pretended to be Milhouse to get access to the movie.
Yeah.
And he angrily confronts Bart. He's like, you're a supervillain. He's like, okay, I know that the tree layer is bad optics. His wording in that joke is very good. But I'm not a supervillain. And then they kind of have a bit of a back and forth there. It's right about then Bart is getting angry and he's just about to reveal the movie ending. And that's when Magnesium Man, a.k.a. Iron Man, shows up, and they pick up Bart and zip him away to another dimension. That dimension, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where we find out that that his actions in this universe directly affect everything that happens in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, I was like, what are we doing?
Insane. I was like, how do we back up from this? You know, like, and we find out that because of Bart talking about the movie spoilers, Airshot's dead.
Yeah.
Like the bad guys figured out a way to beat Airshot. Now he is dead. So Bart is destroyed by this knowledge. He's like weeping. And that's when we cut back and we find out that this is all a VR ploy by Marvel Studios.
Mm-hmm. And kind of put on by Marge.
Yeah.
Like Marge kind of set this up.
Yep. And so what it was is they had a guy in a Magnesium Man costume grab Bart, throw him in a garbage bag full of fucking glow sticks.
Yeah.
That was the wormhole.
That was the portal. Yeah.
The funny, you never noticed it was just a garbage bag full of glow sticks.
Which is very funny.
Yeah.
I love that Marge this whole time has been like, I don't know that I like the turn he's taking.
Yeah.
And this is how far it went. She contacted Marvel
To set this up. Insanity.
These two film execs, by the way, played by the Russo brothers.
Oh, really?
The directors of the last two Avengers
shit.
movies.
That's a nice touch.
And one of the Cap movies.
Okay.
I think Winter Soldier they did.
So Bart is back in the other world. Chinos attacks the Vindicators and takes Bart, kind of puts him in some kind of force field thing. And he gives Bart the offer of, I will give you actual superpowers in return for knowledge on how this movie ends. And Bart starts thinking about, like, he pictures himself full of muscles with blades, like Wolverine style. I can't think of what else.
There's a couple other comic book jokes in there, yeah.
And then he finally he has a moment where he makes a decision. A well-timed eat my shorts.
Yep. Very good time for a catchphrase.
So he won't work with Chinos. The Vindicators attack, and they I don't know if they do kill Chinos, I think, or destroy him.
Yeah, they win.
Yeah, they win. Good way to
Chinos, by the way, played by Kevin Feige, the guy who makes all those Marvel movies.
Oh no shit!
Like I don't know what he's Marvel Cinematic CEO or something like that.
No kidding.
Kevin Feige's the gatekeeper of everything.
I know. I knew it wasn't Brolin just because it didn't sound like Brolin.
Right, but it sounds pretty good. He's got a good gravel to him. Yep.
So Bart has done right, and he is now excited about doing the right thing. And Bart returns to reality, and Marge and Homer both vow not to tell Bart what really happened. Because Bart thinks that he went.
I did it. Yeah, all that was real.
And now he embraces wholeheartely being a good guy. He returns all of his stolen plunder, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Yep.
And he just shows up. It's like Kirk Van Houten and Gil and someone else. I think it's Sherry and Terry's mom is up in the top of that tree sawing away. It's a weird mix of citizens. Hey everyone, you can stop on this. I don't want it anymore.
He's like Ebenezer Scrooge at the end of Christmas Carol.
Yep, and he's very psyched about all this. And then we get cut to the execs that are discussing. It's like we don't have to kill him, not yet. And we find out there's a fucking bomb that was armed, and then underneath Homer and Marge's bed, now it's disarmed in the Disney font,
which I thought was very funny.
Nice touch. I like the dunking on Disney.
While like a creepy rendition of When You Wish Upon a Star plays.
Yeah, So this is the little touches were nice at the end of this.
I liked earlier in the episode too when they're in the VR room with the movie executives, and the executives explain how the global economy would fail if the movie fails.
The world as we know it would end if a big superhero movie didn't make a bunch of money.
So good.
The unemployment from all the not made merchandise and stuff. Yeah, it would just sink the known world into chaos.
The Marvel movies are the linchpin of the world.
Yes, that was pretty good. There was a few okay laughs. Wasn't super heavy on laughs that I can think of. There's a few things I enjoyed.
I like this one a lot.
Yeah, the Skinner's toupee was so good. Oh, surely I don't wear a toupee. Cut to Bart wearing it. Cutting to Homer wearing it.
Yeah.
So good.
I should have just been a koala butcher like my old man. Is so funny.
And I just like the visual gag of Homer plopping that little suitcase down and Bart just zipping himself out in his jammies, just explaining to Mo how things are going to happen from now on.
I like when they're watching the movie way in the beginning, like it ends with all the superheroes getting turned into crystal and shattered, and it cuts to Lenny and Carl in the audience, and Lenny's going, "Oh, it's called Crystal War because they all get turned into crystals." And Carl snaps at him like, "Now is not the time for your analysis." So good.
And Lenny just not trying to be like too cool, too smart for the room.
Yeah.
It was a genuine thing he noticed.
Yeah, this is a fucking good one.
Yeah.
You would have thought there would be more comic book guy in an episode about the MCU, but
He's in the very beginning in the theater and then the scene in the comic book store.
yeah, not in it a ton, but
good point.
I would have thought there'd have been more of him.
Yeah.
I thought this was great. I thought like writing Bart this way, like they kind of write him as if he's a boy who discovered he has a superpower and decides to be shitty with it.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think all of the Marvel like cameos are good.
Most of my muscles are wrapped around the wrong bones.
That's an amazing ailment to have.
Just him lying there under that mound of ice packs.
I love that that's the medical care he's receiving. 24 ice packs thrown on his body haphazardly.
And gets thrown into a wheelchair for some grueling physical therapy.
Not the purple bands. Yeah.
So yeah, this is pretty enjoyable 5.
This is a fucking good batch of episodes, man.
Not one dud.
No, I wasn't ultra hot on the Bitcoin one.
Yeah, that'd be the closest one to a dud, but even that one is tolerable.
It's fine.
Yep.
Totally fine. Yeah.
Yep.
This is I don't want to like put the cart before the horse, but 31 is turning out to be a fucking good season.
Damn right it is.
Yeah, they're back, baby.
Yeah, did we get the Michael Rappaport one in 31? I think we did early on. Or is that the end of 30?
I think that's a 30.
Is it? Okay.
I would have to double check.
But God, I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, that was a very good episode.
I think it was 30 that started off kind of almost alarmingly blah and just turned it around. So the second, like 2/3 of 30 was very good. And then 31 just rolling right along.
That Rappaport one was very early in 31.
Okay. Yeah. Got that good Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah. 31 was a good fucking season.
Yeah. Let's hope it just keeps on rolling.
If anyone listening has like fallen off, I haven't watched since season 12, start at 31. They get good again.
Jump in. Yeah, get in. The water's fine. We'll be here.
Listen to all of our episodes, and you'll find out which episodes are good.
Yeah, you're going to want to catch up because somewhere around season 12, The Simpsons became a serial. So you're going to need to watch every episode to figure out what's going on.
Everything is canon.
Yeah, Bart and Lisa are in their 40s now.
You want to do this again next week?
Yeah.
May as well. I'm going to answer for you. Yes.
I guess.
Yeah,
I think so.
Let's fucking do it.
We can't abandon season 31. It's given us so much.
Right. Yeah,
We
there's
have to
more.
see this through.
There's more.
Well, probably like another 7, roughly.
Oh, there's 22 episodes. Okay. So, yeah, it's about 7.
There we go. Look how much we got left. That's a sizable chunk.
Yeah, we're going to keep doing it.
Couple sizable chunks.
That's what they call us. That's what they call us. Buttermilk biscuit and sausage gravy. We're your boys. We will do 15 through 19 next week. That is the homework.
So listen, or watch, or both.
Yeah.
Listen, treat it like it's old-time radio.
I wonder how many people watch along. I wonder how many people watch the episodes and then listen.
Yeah. Reach out to us.
I have so much, we have unanswered questions to this podcast from the beginning. Do you like the Simpsons stuff more or the bullshit more? Yeah. If we talk too much about the Simpsons, are you bummed? If we don't talk about the Simpsons, are you bummed?
Yeah.
Maybe
we can't itch everyone's scratches.
That's what
Scratch
they say.
everyone's itches.
Yeah, no, we can't itch everyone's scratches. is a T-shirt.
Listen, we can't itch all your scratches.
Yeah, I would love to itch your scratches.
It's not feasible.
I'm gonna get a haircut tomorrow. I'm pretty excited about
Who
that.
are you? Do it yourself?
Love a no.
Oh,
What?
that's nothing to get excited about. That's just bathroom maintenance. Yeah.
Oh, you do it yourself? What a thing to just assume.
I feel like, man, I can't. I've been excited about taking shits. When you finally get to a bathroom you trust. Because as I discussed with you, we are at that time of year in the upper Midwest where you can't shit in public because every goddamn toilet has an inch of slush water from
Yeah.
every trucker's boots.
Yep.
So you drop your pants, they are now as soaked as a toddler's diaper.
Yep.
It's like, well, I'm just fucked.
I didn't bring spare pants.
I'm going to get
so
diaper rash because I had to take a shit in public.
got a cold, wet ass the rest of the day.
Muddy,
Yeah.
cold, wet. Oh, my God.
That slush mud is the fucking worst.
So what if you wanted to? What you'd have to do is find a corner of that bathroom stall, take your shoes off,
Yep.
take your pants off,
Hang them on the hook.
hang them on a hook, put the fucking shoes back on like a. You had to do the underwear too. I don't want sloppy poo poo underwear.
I can probably pull my underwear down to like my knee level and do okay.
I got to fully vacate. I need to be in a blissful.
Oh, it's
zone.
not going to be an ideal dump.
Yeah, we're not getting everything out.
Come on, that's not going to happen.
You're just getting the ones knocking on the front.
You're just getting the
door.
troublemakers.
Yeah. The latecomers, they're going to still be in you.
Yeah, 100%. But you get the ones coming through the door. Yes.
I like to push them all out. Get it all out of there.
Yeah, but sometimes you work with what you got.
Yeah.
And what you got is a fucking muddy, wet puddle floor.
Doing all of that, and then that's got a bad latch, and some 60-year-old man walks in. You in a winter coat, nothing else, putting on your dress shoes to go take a shit. Not gonna lie, you've caught me in a vulnerable position. Want to watch you play Farmville?
Are you friend?
So shit at home if you can.
I do. Good Lord, do I. If I can help it,
If that bathroom could talk, it'd never stop screaming.
I can go 4 days to get home. Like I can shut it
Oof,
down.
oof.
Shut it all down.
Ugh.
Hit the pause button.
Now to grease them wheels.
Put my colon in cryostasis.
It's like firing up an old paper mill.
Like starting a cold diesel.
Something's gumming up the works. Someone's barking in there.
Take a gut punch like Houdini used to. Come on, let's do it.
I got this.
Just swing. 15 to 19 for next week, and we will see you then.
Bye, everybody.